day ever. And then Sunday night, Lambeau Field. It's early, but we'll explain why the season may already be on the line in Green Bay. All that and more as we get up with you, starting right now. Let's go, people. It's a Football Friday coming off a good one last night. Brooke Pryor has made her way here today. Graziano's ready to roll. Rod Minkiewicz is looking for somebody to hit. I can just feel it. And speaking of looking for somebody to hit, RC is ready to go. Let's do it on this Friday, coming off a fascinating matchup in the AFC West. The Stars were out in the game of the night last night. Mr. Mahomes against the heir apparent, Justin Herbert. Let's do what they square off. Late first quarter, Chargers have the ball. They're leading at 3-0. Herbert, Mike Williams, Ninko, how does he make this catch?
50 yards on a dime, but hey, PI doesn't matter. I'm still catching the football over you on the 1 yard line. Impressive.
Chargers take a 10-0 lead. Now, Chiefs looking to answer. How does he do this?
I don't know, but he's really good. The sidearm throw, the no-look throw, it's ridiculous. Look at this guy. You can't stop him.
That's vintage Mahomes through that little lane, but it's their only score of the half. So the Chiefs down 10-7 at the break. Third quarter, that's still the score. It's a 1st and 10. It's Herbert again. It's Williams again. This catch is absurd.
The concentration, one hand, pull it back into your body, and the score, ridiculous.
Williams somewhat quiet week one. He exploded in week two. Chargers a 17-7 lead. And then here's the moment that could have pretty much ended this game. Asante Samuel Jr. intercepts Patrick Mahomes, or does he?
Oh, it hits him in the chest. If you drop that and it hits you in the, it should be incomplete. It is incomplete. Hits the ground. There it is, right there. Hits the ground.
No,
there it is. Incomplete.
That close. They rule it an interception. Then they overturn the call to incomplete, and the Chiefs take advantage. This is on a 3rd down play. How about this throw?
Worst place to be behind the quarterback. You can't let him step up in the pocket like that. But a precise surgical throw. Ridiculous.
Look how close J.C. Jackson is to game of inches. Tyreek Hill.
He's jealous.
I remember those days. 17-14. The Chiefs take the lead. All right, later in the third quarter now, Chiefs have the ball back. They're down 3, I should say. Chiefs just outside the red zone. And Mahomes, again, creating extra time and then finding Travis Kelce.
Runs out of the back of the pocket. Scary, but it doesn't matter. Finds Kelce. And it's WWE time. Slam time.
Bam! That's Derwin James.
Wow, that's impressive.
With a body slam.
That's good leverage.
Chiefs kick a field goal. So we're tied at 17 going to the fourth quarter. What a night. Chargers, 2nd and 3 at the 29. Here's a critical sequence. This is the moment that decides the game. This is Herbert for his tight end, Gerald Everett, who's been a big part of the offense the first 2 weeks. And he's got a big play. He's got 26 yards down to the 3, but he's gassed. He wants out of the game. But they don't take him off the field because they don't want to let the defense substitute. And on the very next play, Ninko, what does he do?
What are we doing, 7? Are you tired? He looks a little tired. He looks gassed. He doesn't need no effort right here. That's a terrible play. You have to run the proper route. Game's on the line. This is the biggest play of the game. It was the deciding factor in Kansas City winning this game.
Watch 7 as he just somewhat moves one way then the other. Now, what's he doing there? Trying to explain it. 99-yard pick 6 for Jalen Watson the other way. Chiefs a 24-17 lead. Now, Herbert looking for Everett. He's still a part of the offense. Herbert, however, hit hard on the play. Take another look. This looks bad.
Looks like rib shot. Looks like he's in a lot of pain right here. You can tell instantly, holding the side, his ribs. That you can't imagine the pain as a quarterback trying to throw with a rib injury.
And then it gets worse. He would leave for a few plays, then comes back. Now this is his first play back, and he's writhing. You could see the pain that Justin Herbert is in. Some of us watching said, get him out of there, but they don't. Chiefs kick a field goal, so they're up by 10. Chargers 3rd and 1 at the 43. Look at Herbert. He's got to just get rid of the ball. He's in so much pain, so you're wondering, well, there's no way he has any magic left on this night. Right? Wrong. 4th and 1. How about this throw to DeAndre Carter?
It's good. It's a good throw. It's a good throw.
That's a good throw.
Oh.
Taking it down for us.
Oh, the guts of Justin Herbert, 35 yards. Then on a 4th and goal, he's got Joshua Palmer. 334 yards and 3 touchdowns for the banged-up Justin Herbert. So they're down by 3. They've got to kick an onside kick, and look how close they come to getting it, Ninko.
Comes down to special teams. The onside kick, Kansas City recovers, and that's the game.
That ball is sitting there for just a moment, but by that much, the Chiefs recover. They hold on. They win. win. Mahomes does enough to get it done. Herbert, impressive, but not quite enough. Okay, Ryan Clark, I want to start, before we get to the big picture, that feels to me like there's a big and a little picture story coming out of this game. We'll get to the big, the implications. But I want to start, RC, let's teach a little here. For the 99.9% of the people watching this show who did not play in the National Football League, Everett clearly wants to come out of the game before that play. He's tapping his helmet. Yes. He wants to come out. They don't sub him out because they don't want to let the defense substitute. And then it certainly does not appear to be kind, as though he gives maximum effort on the play. Is that on the player, or is that on the coaches for not getting him out when he asks out?
You know, it's on the players, and obviously the coach does have to try to substitute for a guy who really can't get it going, or a guy who has done a lot on a drive and doesn't have anything left in the gas tank. But if you're out there, you're out there. No one's watching this film and saying, oh, it's okay that Gerald Everett was tired. You give up a 99-yard interception that turns into a pick six because you don't fight. Everybody's tired. 2 minutes is absolutely miserable. Imagine mixing like Peloton, Hot Works, and any other F145, whatever you want to be, CrossFit, all in one thing. Add the stress of being on an NFL field in a big-time arena in a primetime game. It's hard as hell to keep going, but you have to fight for your quarterback who's driven you down to that point. And I understand that Gerald Everett's had a great 2 weeks to start his Los Angeles Charger career, but this play is going to haunt him, and it should. You have to give all the effort you can possibly muster in that situation to at least break the football up and do what you're supposed to do. You would like the coaches to be able to get him out, but strategically it was smarter to keep him on the field, and that's on Gerald Everett to find a way to make a play.
Again, to make sure that everyone watching understands, if the Chargers don't substitute, then the Chiefs don't get to substitute. Right. If the Chargers take him off the field, then they have to pause and let Kansas City make their defensive adjustments there. So that's the thinking behind why it doesn't happen. Sometimes it's those little things that decide games that could have enormous ramifications as we go down the line. So Dan Graziano, let's talk about that. Does it appear through 2 weeks as though the reports of the demise of Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs were greatly exaggerated?
Yes. I think Bart Scott sat here and talked about them not making the playoffs. So I hope like some of that crazy doesn't rub off on me in this chair. But look, I mean, they still have Andy Reid. They still have Patrick Mahomes. And I mean, I go back to my training camp visit to the Chiefs and talking to Mahomes about how it's going to be different this year. And he said, it's going to be more on me to make sure I go through the right reads as opposed to just looking and seeing, oh, Tyreek Hill's got a matchup that he can win. I'll throw it to him. So you see what Mahomes is doing, and through two games, which they played in the span of 5 days, it works out that way. Now, I will say this. It looks to me like more is going to be asked of Mahomes than ever before by the Kansas City Chiefs because they don't have a number one receiver. They don't seem to have a number one running back. He's going to have to make sure all the pieces work together. Through 2 games, he's been up for it.
A lot of that seems to come back, and you made this point in our meeting this morning, to something he said before the season began, sort of apologizing to people who were expecting those kind of numbers.
Exactly. He apologized to those fantasy guys like, man, sorry if you have any of our guys because you're not going to know who we're going to. And to that point, Mahomes has completed multiple passes to 8 different receivers, tied for most in a game in the Mahomes era. That was last night. Mm-hmm. Through 2 games, 11 different Chiefs have caught a pass, 6 different have caught a touchdown. If I'm looking at that, and I'm a fantasy gal sometimes, I'm not starting anybody on that team because it's so spread out. But this is what Mahomes said that he was going to do. He does not have Tyreek Hill as a crutch to just throw it up. He still has Travis Kelce, but I think that this is making him play smarter, distribute the ball more evenly, and that makes them even more dangerous as an offense.
With Mahomes as the central piece of the conversation, Ninko, as we look at him